Dirty Sports Podcast. I said, welcome to the Dirty Sports Podcast with Andy, Ruther, and Joe Prano. Welcome to the Dirty Sports Podcast.
Welcome to the Dirty Sports Podcast. I'm your host, Andy Ruther, coming to you live from Cincinnati, Ohio, with my co-host from Lake Tahoe, Joey Married Prano.
Hello, Andy.
Look at that. Look at that ring.
Yeah. There you go.
It's official.
Yeah. And I have official ring anxiety, but I'm hoping that it's only tight because we're up here at elevation and I've had somewhere in the neighborhood of 400 Miller Lights this week.
Well, they can resize it.
They can. It's already been resized. It was my dad's ring, actually.
Oh, wow. That's cool.
Yeah. They cut it off him. So we had it resized and we had it put back together and the guy did a great job. And actually I went and tried it on and I was like, too tight, resize it. So he was like, all right. I was like 2 sizes up and he's like, I think 1. Sounds like you're just a psycho about rings. And I was like, he's like, you don't want it too big or else it's going to fall off. I did go back and try it on that after he did that. And it seemed like it fit right. So I'm hoping that it's just me being elevated and full of sodium and full of cervezas. Andy, I got to say, and this is not to make you feel bad. This is to make you feel good, actually. A lot of people with the Where's Ruther this weekend. A lot of people. Tug said it a couple dozen times. Eddie Ift is one. I think everybody generally understands except Eddie Ift. Eddie Ift's aggressively mad at you for not being here. But that's pretty on brand for Eddie. Chris Wilde, all the folks, Jonesy.
Yeah.
And then, Mikey also devastated that you're not here.
Well, like I said last episode, Mikey was trying to have me give all the information for the dirt balls so that they would crash your wedding.
Yeah. We didn't need that.
No.
We actually did have some crazy, apparently methed out local try to crash the wedding, and he had to be physically removed. He came in swinging. I didn't even know about this. Apparently 6 cop cars came to my wedding and arrested a guy that tried to crash. And then like 10 minutes later, somebody was like, hey, you see all that? And I was like, no. And I went out and I talked to Ian, the guardian angel and patron saint of my wedding. And I was like, what happened? He's like, nothing happened. Get back inside your fucking wedding. I was like, okay. And then the next day they're like, oh, it's pretty intense. This guy tried to punch me in a bunch of times. It was tackled. Sam Goldstein went into his van and got a 1-iron and was wielding it. And
Wait. So who was this guy?
I don't know. Crazy person, apparently. I don't have the full backstory, but sounds like he just heard a real good time coming out of some windows of McDuff's and was like, I got to get me in there.
Was he trying? Interesting.
Yeah.
Was
I
he
don't think it was actually about attending my wedding.
Detained?
Yeah, I think he was properly arrested. I think they took him. I don't know all the details because Ian is like a mob boss who's like, nothing happened. Go back inside.
Was he wearing a Lakers 24 jersey?
Yeah. Just a Kobe Bryant stan who knew the date and general time of my wedding. Fool, let me in.
His front was a Lakers Kobe jersey. The back was a Jordan Bulls 23.
Yeah.
He had a New York Yankees
half 8, half 24 Lakers jersey. He had a tattoo of Marilyn Monroe wearing a Tupac bandana.
He had a Yankees hat for Jeter. Oh man. Did you get any sleep?
Literally last night I finally got some sleep. Last night there was not a lot of sleep this week. But it all came together. I got the same message from a lot of people in person, online. A lot of people said, hey man, a lot of shit's going to go wrong that day. Don't sweat the small stuff. No one's going to know except you guys. just keep having a good time. And when you look back on it, you're going to be like, that shit we were stressing out about didn't matter. I got to say, and again, if you're ever in South Lake Tahoe, please come and give your business to what is, in my opinion, the greatest pub in the world, McDuff's Pub Tahoe. Every single thing of our wedding went exactly as planned, save for one thing, and that was we did donuts instead of cake, and the donuts fucking sucked. But if I had to do it all over again, I would just make Ian's fucking pub make the donuts too, because they nailed it. Everything was awesome. We had a donkey serving Miller Lights. Dance party turned into karaoke because Mikey grabbed the microphone from the DJ and started singing Living on a Prayer, which then turned into just like us requesting songs and then people getting on microphone and doing karaoke. It looked like it was going to pour rain on the ceremony right up until ceremony time. And then like the Simpsons opening, the clouds parted and we had a sunny ceremony. It was literally the perfect day, except for my dessert, which I was like partying too much to even have a donut. And I'm so glad I didn't, because if I had tasted those donuts the day of, I would have been pissed off, but I didn't know that they were trash until the next day. So shout out to every single person except for the lady who made our donuts. She can get fucked forever.
Was it the same type of donut?
It was so we thought she was going to do different. We gave her a bunch of flavors. She's like, I can do any flavor you want. What she ended up doing is just making all the same type of donut and different types of glazes on it, which like even that would have been dope if they were good donuts. They were too dense. They were too thick. They weren't light, fluffy donuts. That's the only quality required of a donut, light and fluffy.
You've frozen and now you're pixelated and you were a little off and on there with
a little auto tune.
Yeah, you got some T-Pain going on right now.
Is it happening still?
Yeah, you're completely pixelated.
Sick.
T-Pain.
Do I refresh?
Yeah, you refresh. I'll hold down for it. So, by the way, I also, you guys can probably tell I got a raspy voice. We got some bug was going around my whole family, so that's why I sound like T-Boss from TLC. So anybody who gets that reference, shout out to you. Why don't I just kick you out of here, Prano? I don't know if this is working. Oh yeah, because now we got 3. Hold on. There we go.
Is this one better?
Yeah.
Let's go.
There we go. So how did you stay up?
How did I stay up?
Like how late did you stay up on your wedding night?
Probably 2:30.
Oh, not too bad.
Not too bad. Yeah. 2:30, 3 o'clock, maybe. It was awesome, dude. Dance party till like we were supposed to. It was great. We originally had the DJ set to 10, and then Charlotte was like, we should make him 10:30. Like people are gonna want to dance more. I asked him at one point how close we're, and it was already 10:45. I was like, oh, we're still going. Ian from McDuff's got into the karaoke portion of the night. He wanted to sing Pink Pony Club. So he sang Pink Pony Club, and his partner at McDuff's, Joe, loved it so much that Joe was suddenly standing behind the DJ booth with the guy. And I was like, what's going on? And Joe's like, this party doesn't end until I say it's over. Like, I was like, what do you mean? He's like, I just told the DJ, start a tab. We're going to let this party go as long as it needs to go. And I was like, okay. But we had like a very special ending to the wedding. So I was like, all right, why don't we just go to like, I think it was 11:15. And then we had our ending, and then we had an after party upstairs at the pub, and people played guitar and sang, and it was great. But we had a very special Sopranos ending planned for our wedding. So at 11:15, Don't Stop Believin' played, and right at the same moment as in the show, the lights just went dark, and we Sopranos ended our wedding.
Oh, that's cool. That's unique.
Yeah. And what's funny is like at first, no one, like knew it was like over. Like they just were like, oh, the music and the lights are cutting. So I have great video of everybody just continuing to sing Don't Stop Believing for like 15, 20 seconds. And then they kind of fade, like, they whimper out on the singing and everybody's like, what? And then you get that soprano moment. They're like, what the fuck is somebody was like, are the lights coming back on? And my sister goes, it's like the Sopranos. And I was like, yep, she gets it. And then we went upstairs and we had a, acoustic guitar sing along after party, which I got to shout out our boy Jonesy. I have a lot of friends who play guitar and sing. And for some reason, everybody was kind of like being a little bashful, just like, playing a little guitar here and there, singing a little here and there. Jonesy was like, yeah, I'll get involved. And Jonesy played a killer version of No Diggity on the acoustic guitar. And I really feel like he set the tone and everybody else was like, oh, okay. So we're trying to like play crowd pleasing bangers, huh? And from that point on, the acoustic guitar after party hit a whole new level. I want to say we left there pretty close to 2. And then Charlotte and I went back to our hotel suite, hung out for a bit, like wound down. And then by the time we were in bed, it was probably close to 3:00. And then we had to be out of that suite at 11 a.m. or something. So I got up at like 8:30 and started cleaning up and shit. So I only, even on wedding night, I think I got like 5 hours sleep, maybe 4.5 hours sleep. But it was a great day. My buddy Tony Calabrese.
I don't know. I know Tony. I don't know if we ever met in person.
Oh, you know of him. You've obviously stayed at his place in San Francisco and stuff like that. He brought a box with 130 of the Groucho Marx glasses. So he was handing those out. He sent me a message like an hour before I left to go meet up with them before like the ceremony, and he was like, "Hey, I don't know if you're planning on bringing your actual eyeglasses, but you have to and put them in your jacket pocket, and it'll all make sense." And I was like, "Okay." And so a lot of pictures of me with people with Joe Prano costumes on, basically.
Do you feel different?
I think I feel a little different. It's crazy. I want to cut my ring finger off, but no, I do. We were legally married, but it didn't feel like it. Now I'm like, oh, you're my wife. That's wild.
I find that interesting. Like you were already like legally married, but the ceremony now made it real.
Yeah. I think you saying all that shit in front of all your friends and your family and whatever. And we didn't post the original stuff on socials. Not because of any other reason, except like we didn't want today to feel like it wasn't, if people were like, wait, you guys are already married or whatever. But I think until like everybody knows, oh shit, yep, there they are. Joe Prano and his wife, or there's Charlotte and her husband. Yeah, it does feel a little bit different. I don't think it feels anything different in terms of like the two of us, but it feels different in terms of I'm like, shit, I'm somebody's husband. That's weird.
Like perception.
Yeah. I even started out, you'll like this. I started out my vows. I was like, let's just address the elephant in the room. I think there's a lot of people that didn't think this day would come. I certainly didn't think we were ever going to see this day. I think a lot of people find this very restrictive. Some people find it even suffocating, and like did a whole thing about how uncomfortable it is, how men have to do it one day because society says it. And I was like, I'm of course talking about Mikey wearing long pants. And
you worked it. You basically did a bit.
Oh, I had 3 bits off the top. I had 3 hot bits off the top, and then I got into the sappy stuff. The second bit was about how I invited Charlotte here before we had even met. When we were just chatting on Bumble, I was like, I'm going to Lake Tahoe. You want to come? And she was like, no. And I was like, yeah, probably a smart call. I was like, there are a lot of people in Lake Tahoe right now for the rest of eternity that are there because they trusted a man with an Italian last name that they shouldn't have. And then I wrapped it up. The last thing I basically said of the vows was, and hopefully this is all going to work out. If not, I guess enjoy the lake. And she's like, did you just end your vows with a threat? And I was like, blood in, blood out.
Did she get that reference when you made it? The Godfather 2? Okay.
Yeah. Well, you know, Lake Tahoe is filled with like a lot of mobsters.
Well,
a lot of dead mobsters in Lake Tahoe.
Yeah, I knew that. I wasn't sure if you were specifically representing. Okay. Well, let's play a call. I don't know if we're able to understand this. Somebody gave you a congratulations call. He's so drunk. I've already I maximized it on the back end, but I'm gonna try to maximize it here. Let's see. I mean, it's your classic long-time dirtball, just leaving the worst call ever.
It's Luke from Houston. Shout out fucking Joey No Trill Prano on getting married. Also, fucking long-time listener, first-time caller.
Can I just say, like, your first time you call, this is what you do, buddy. I mean, you couldn't
He
even
hasn't seen that drunk so far.
Well, why is he calling up from why is he in a fish aquarium?
I think people, you know what I've noticed? I feel like something that it's now maybe retroactively I'm realizing what it was. I think a lot of these guys are calling like the hands free from the phone, which always sounds like you're in a fucking wind tunnel.
Yeah, this one sounds really bad.
Shout out fucking Joey No Chill. Who would have thought he'd get married before Andy Ruther fucking had 2 kids already? But y'all are legendary. If you go back to the early episodes, Andy Ruther comes so fucking long. He was talking real slow. Had fucking got his fucking head beat in somehow after Eric Andre's birthday party.
Okay,
but
he's drunk.
All I want to say is, fucking shout out to you. Fucking shout out to fucking DSP. Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah. Legend.
We should play a drinking game with that call and just drink every time he says fucking. It's like the Kobe Bryant shot challenge.
I don't know. Was he shouting you out? I assume. What?
At the end?
Yeah. What was he trying to say?
I have no idea. But I appreciate the call, and it means a lot to me that a guy has been listening to this show for a long time listener, but first time caller. The thing that inspired him to just go, all right, I got to pick up the phone and call the new Dirty Sports hotline was to congratulate me on getting married. I told Charlotte this the other night on my wedding day. I mostly had my phone off. At one point, it wasn't off, but it was like silenced, I look at my phone and I was like, he's got like a bunch of Venmos. And I'm looking at it, I go, here's something I never thought I'd say. Venmo requests, Venmo payments from podcast listeners as wedding gifts. Like, it was like heartfelt, like the same way people were like wrote in our cards that they gave us. It was like, hey, no chill, just wanted to, and I'm like, what the fuck? I was like, is this a wedding gift Venmo with like a heartfelt note in it? This is wild. And Charlotte's like, how many you get? I was like, 4 of them. And like, I think since I started posting pictures.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Well, much better to get a Venmo again than to have some dirtball crash in your wedding.
Yeah. Yeah. But it was great. Mikey did a great speech. He killed it.
So was he your best man?
He was my best man. He gave a speech, told a great story about my dad. But honestly, the best part, he was like reading. Mikey reading in public was fucking hilarious because he's just like, you can tell he wrote it and then didn't like practice it out loud, but it like was more charming that way. And then at one point he's reading and he goes, stop, turn, look at crowd, smile. And then he just goes back to reading. And I was like, that's classic.
That is funny.
Yeah, an incredible speech. Charlotte's maid of honor, also an incredible speech. Mikey was doing splits on the dance floor and dancing with Charlotte's mom and singing "Don't Stop Believing" and "Living on a Prayer." Got the karaoke kicked off.
Does your brother sleep? He comes
Probably
across
not.
the guy
No.
like doesn't need sleep.
Yeah. Everybody that saw Mikey was like, "You're so gray." Because he's like, a lot of people haven't seen Mikey in 20, 30 years. And I was like, yeah, it's because he drinks fucking 20 beers a day and sleeps like 90 minutes a night.
Like in raising a family.
Yeah. Raising a couple kids. His kids were here. They were at the wedding. That was awesome. Chris Wilde brought his son. That was awesome. Eddie brought Izzy and Cruz. They were great. Kids loved the donkey. I had one half of the donkey filled with Miller Lite, and then the other half was filled with Smirnoff Ices. So I'd just go to people. I go, "Did you meet the donkey?" And they'd be like, "No, I saw it." And I'd be like, "No, but you got to meet the donkey." And they were like, "Oh, okay." And they'd come over, and they were like, "All right, this is donkey." I was like, "You got iced, bro." And then so we had guys kneeling down by the donkey, smashing Smirnoff Ices.
I thought you were joking going in that you said you were gonna have a beer burro.
Yeah, beer burro at the wedding. It was great. Total hit. And then they had Miller Lights on the donkey in bottles, which I loved. And then they were like, somebody came up to me and they're like, "Do you want to draft Miller Lite?" I was like, "They have Miller Lite on draft?" Because, Ian's got a fantastic beer selection there. And so there's not a lot of American light beers that just make the cut of the board. It's like a lot of local stuff and whatever. But he always keeps some Miller Lite in refrigerators for me there. But they were like, "Yeah, we have Miller Lite on draft," and they pointed, and on the beer board, on the draft board, it said Joe's Miller Lights, and it had hearts, hand drawn sign. It was epic. the best folks in the world over at McDuff's. Truly, like, I was nervous about the whole thing, and then I was just like, "Oh, we just threw the best party ever. Like, we threw the best party ever. It was sick." And karaoke wasn't planned. Just happened.
What were you nervous about though?
Just nervous about this isn't gonna work, or the sign's not gonna work, or people here, or John's coming, or whatever. A million things to be nervous about. It's gonna rain.
John's coming.
It's gonna rain. Is or like all this stuff. But and people, like I said, people said shit's gonna go wrong, but it's not that big a deal. Literally nothing went wrong. The ceremony, we pulled it off. My buddy Josh did the efficient and fucking rocked it. And then when we got to McDuff's, the McDuff's crew, just like, staff is so friendly and everybody's having a good time and smiling. And I not for 1 second was I ever like without a beer. Somebody was like, "Do you need another beer?" And I was like, "All right." And also, shout out to Miller Lite. Here's a tip, guys. If you want to just stay like that perfect, just have Miller Lights your entire wedding night. That's what I did. It's like, "Nah, you want a shot?" I'm like, "Nah, maybe later." I just didn't want to forget stuff. So just
Even keel.
strict diet of Miller Lights. And you know me.
Nice little buzz, but keep it even keel.
Yeah. But it was just awesome. It was awesome. And it all came together. I envisioned that it could be a fun bar party, college bar dance party. But until it was actually happening, I was like, "Oh, look, we're doing it." And then once the mic started getting passed around karaoke, it was I was just like, "Whoa, we just took a turn."
Yeah. Well, good, man. You're gonna head back tomorrow?
Yeah, I think we're supposed to head back today, but I think we're gonna try to adjust it and head back tomorrow. One other huge highlight: Chris Wilde decided to take the mic for "I Love Rock and Roll" karaoke, and he turned it into "I Love Joe Prano," and absolute banger by Chris Wilde.
Did you just improvise everything?
Yeah, because it wasn't it wasn't real karaoke. We didn't have lyrics and shit on the thing, so everybody's just freestyling it.
Yeah, I can see him crushing that. Well, look, man, you're gonna head back a married man to SoCal over there.
Yep.
You want to talk a little sports?
Let's do it. What's waiting for me?
Well,
sports wise,
I'm
at 7-game win streak. That's what's waiting for me, Andy.
Okay, well, you got that going for you. That's good. We'll stay on brand here with baseball. I told you about this before the show. Big fight last week with Bryce Harper and Rob Manfred.
Don't fuck around and make me like Bryce Harper.
I saw this this morning. I saw Bryce Harper trending. I was like, and then I was like, "Ooh, this is a juicy one." I'll just read the headline from the tweet from Jeffrey Passan. Is it Passan? Passan?
Jeff Passan.
Philadelphia Phillies star Bryce Harper stood nose to nose with MLB Commissioner Rob Manfred during a meeting last week and told him to get the fuck out of the clubhouse if he wanted to talk about a salary cap, sources told ESPN. And here's the story. Apparently things got pretty heated last week when Manfred has been touring all 30 teams. And, the big discussion, we've talked about this on this show, is the potential for them trying to implement a salary cap, which they've wanted since 94, right? That was the first big lockout and obviously missed World Series that year. So they came head to head. I'll just read what it says. Basically, Harper, according to sources, was sitting in a chair and holding a bat and eventually grew frustrated when Manfred wasn't even saying the word salary cap, but was kind of alluding to it. Harper stood up and said, "Are you not scared to lose 162 games?" Sources told ESPN. If you want to speak about that, you can get the fuck out of our clubhouse. According to sources, Manfred responded saying, "Not going to get the fuck out of here."
Should have forcibly removed him.
Saying it was important for them to have these discussions. And before this situation intensified, apparently Nick Castellanos tried to defuse the situation by saying, "I have more questions." The meeting continued. Harper and Manfred eventually shook hands. Although sources say when Manfred tried to call him the next day, Harper refused to take his calls. Castellanos told ESPN it was definitely pretty intense, definitely passionate, both of them. Commissioner trying to give it back to Bryce and Bryce giving it back to the commissioner.
Here's everybody that listens to the show for any amount of time knows exactly how I feel about a salary cap in baseball. I've been calling for it. I've been calling for it since before Major League Baseball has been calling for it in 1994. It's so obvious that, you're never going to be able to compete with certain teams when there's not a salary cap. Now, that being said, a lot of small market teams have won the World Series and recently. So it happens. But
so who?
Well, famously my Mets lost to the fucking Royals in 2015.
I know, but that's 10 years ago.
Yeah, I mean, if we go backwards through the World Series, I mean,
I just, the reason I ask that, because a lot of people they'll say that. Like, I was perusing through the comments under the story on Twitter, and it's like, I'm shocked how people defend the lack of salary cap, and I'm like, well, it seems to be working well for the other three leagues, and people think it's going to hurt the players. But I think it's an agreement, right? It's not just a salary cap, it's a salary floor. It'd be both, correct?
Yeah, it has to be.
It has to be.
Yeah. Listen, I've said on this show a trillion times, I've said in my personal life to anybody who will listen to me a billion trillion times that baseball needs both of those things. That being said, I also called it. Baseball is going to up the intensity with which they want a salary cap. The first second the New York Mets challenge the New York Yankees and Steve Cohen starts fucking taking over the goddamn league. I saw it coming by a mile away. Third point. What the fuck is with the clubhouse tour? Get the fuck out of our clubhouse. There is winter meetings. You can talk to agents. You can talk to the players union rep. You can talk to whatever. You could ask whoever each team determines as their captain or the guy that they want to speak. I'm sure every single team has a player representative for the union. Say, "Hi, I want to visit the Phillies," and talk to whichever player the player rep for the union is. Sit with them, tell them about it, and let them take that to their teammates and tell them what that conversation was like. Walking into a Major League Baseball clubhouse and then being told to get the fuck out by one of your star players. The first part was egomania. The second part is being a sociopath. When one of the biggest stars in your game tells you to leave his fucking clubhouse and you say, "I won't fucking leave." If I was a players union member right now, I would be like, not only are we not having a conversation about the salary cap, not only will we have a conversation about it, we will have it only after he is removed as commissioner. You cannot go into a Major League Baseball clubhouse and threaten your players. Get the fuck out. And you just got to go, okay, I will leave. Otherwise, what are you?
Well, so I wouldn't. Well, according to this, I mean, he's not threatening. It was Bryce telling him to get out, and he just basically stood his ground. You have a problem with that?
Huge problem. The commissioner is supposed to be the bridge between the owners and the players. The commissioner is supposed to be the person who is a one person that speaks on behalf of all the owners. Okay? The owner of the Phillies can go into the Phillies fucking clubhouse because he owns the Phillies. The hired by the Phillies representative to walk around and just be like, I'm going to act like I'm more important than fucking everybody. You're not. No one is more important than the players. And that is in every sport. Football, obviously less so because they've done such a good job beating the soul out of their players. But in baseball, you're fucking nothing. You're nobody. Nobody gives a shit about you. Get the fuck out. Send a memo.
I think this is gonna be a real interesting battle. I think the majority. I mean, you definitely see people who don't want it, but I think the majority of fans want the salary cap.
I want it, and I also think Rob Manfred is fucking terrible. And also, I think the reason that baseball is shit is because of stuff like that. Like, you can't even get anything right. You want a salary cap, everybody thinks you should have one, and you can't even figure out how to start a conversation about it. You want to start a conversation about the salary cap, and it turns into you swearing in the face of one of your fucking star players? How bad can somebody be at their job?
Here's something interesting though. It's funny. People say all the players aren't going to make as much. I just pulled it up real quick. Both or all three. The rookie minimum salary for NBA, NFL, and NHL is I'm shocked by this, is higher than Major League Baseball.
Yeah.
NBA 1.1 million, NFL 750, NHL 750, baseball 720. So I mean that's interesting. Here's the thing. The players, I know they're not going to want this, and especially the union's not going to push it. There has to be a salary cap and a salary floor. There just has to be. Again, every league does it.
And also look at basketball. Dude, the best players in basketball are making $60 million a year. Like, I know it's a smaller roster, but the best players in football are now making fucking $60 million a year.
Yeah, I don't think that's again. I agree.
There's a big gap between, Juan Soto, Shohei Ohtani, every NFL quarterback, and then the next highest paid baseball player.
Well, I think that's been the argument of you obviously have more non Juan Sotos than you do, obviously. So I think the salary cap in place helps the lower tier guys.
Yeah. And listen, I'm not arguing against the salary cap. I'm arguing for the salary cap and just always adjusting the same way that the NBA does, the same way the NFL does. The cap goes up and up and up and up and up. But the thing is you're just keeping everybody between these two fucking numbers to say, hey, who cares if you could say the salary cap is $1 billion or the salary cap is $2 billion. You can say whatever you want it to be. What it does is it keeps people from going, oh, everybody's willing to spend this much. Well, we're going to double it.
Yeah.
You got your own ring on over there, buddy? Did you get married while Did you share a anniversary with us?
That's funny. Everybody's asking me if I'm married now. No. You know what she did? She got me
Or a sleep ring or whatever?
and I wear it all the time, but she also was like, I'm getting it for your ring finger. Got it for Father's Day. And I've been wearing it just because it keeps track of all this shit.
Yeah.
And she's like, this isn't to say. I was like, but it only, she's like, you don't have to wear it on your ring finger. I'm like, you literally measured my ring finger and didn't tell me a week before Father's Day. And also, it doesn't fit in the other ones. So it kind of has to go on my ring finger.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's a woman hint. Probably. Probably.
Pretty heavy one.
Pretty heavy one.
She's like, also, you sleep with the fishes if you don't. So you're not going to need an Aura sleep ring.
No, so I am not married. I forget that it's on, but I also understand what you're going through with the ring because I've had this for about a month, and I went after a week. I was like, I hate this thing, and I didn't wear it for a few days, and then I hate that I have to wear it when I sleep because it measures your sleep.
Yeah,
and that was the main thing. Real quick, she was like, "How much sleep are you actually getting?" And we're like, "Holy shit, you ain't getting shit." So if you guys ever want to have babies, just a heads up on that.
Yeah.
Fuck my life. Anyway, I kid. I love you kids that just give me germs and diseases all the time. I hope they can get to some sort of solution on this. I have a bad feeling though. It's going to be bad on this salary cap situation.
Yeah, because look at how the conversation starts.
That's what I'm saying. Guys are
because Rob Manfred is a fuckhead, and Rob Manfred was birthed out of, Bud Selig's after-birth placenta that they took to a fucking lab, and they were like, create a clone of this fucking dickhead.
Yeah, well, it's not good when your commissioner, Prano froze on me. It's not good when your commissioner is literally getting nose to nose with one of your star players. I believe he's a 2-time former MVP.
Can we just?
You keep freezing on me. You would never see it in the other leagues. I think that's important to note. You would never see Adam Silver. There we go. We got 2 Pranos again. You would never see Adam Silver screaming at players or Roger Goodell. You wouldn't. That's the truth. You wouldn't in the locker room.
It's embarrassing.
It is embarrassing.
It's embarrassing for the league. And it's one of those things where it's like sometimes people fuck up and it's a Karen moment. Rob Manfred's a Karen. You know what I mean? He went into a Starbucks. They said, we're closed. And he was like, I want to speak to a manager. And they're like, bro, we're fucking closed. We're closed. Espresso machine's off. Cake pops are away. We're closed. I want to talk to somebody. It's like, hey, Rob Manfred, you fucking Karen, get the fuck out of here.
Well, I got something else. Now that we're bitching about Major League Baseball, we gotta give some love. The Hall of Fame was this weekend. I'm gonna play Ichiro. I don't know if you saw this.
I didn't. I saw it during Sunday Night Baseball, but you're gonna love this. The sound off. We're playing,
of course,
playing U2 on the patio and watching the game with no sound.
Well, Ichiro took a dig
at Rob Manfred.
No, he took a dig, and I was reminded by this. I forgot during his speech at the one voter who did not vote for him in the Hall of Fame, which again is absolutely insane.
Right.
I'm gonna have to translate this. A little, Ichiro's not exactly, this is like a Yoshi English going on here.
Baseball taught me what it means to be a professional, and I believe that is the main reason I am here today. Not because my skills are better than others. 3,000 hits or 262 hits in one season are achievements recognized by the writers. Well, all but one of you.
Well, all but one of you.
Yeah.
Comedic timing impeccable.
And by the way, the offer for that writer to have dinner at my home has now expired.
That's funny.
Ichiro with the reverse skunk look.
Yeah, he does.
I like that. The delivery of the first one, but the one of you was a little bit
Shaky.
It was a little bit shaky, but the has now expired is epic. That is like,
Oh yeah, he crushed the second one.
that is like, I said yesterday when we were watching it on mute, I was like, Ichiro looks like a John Wick villain. Ichiro looks like a guy John Wick has to go see in Tokyo about a thing. And the villain is the Japanese villain is named the Milkman. And then every time somebody dies, he's like, the milk has expired. And he cuts their head off. I'm sorry, John Wick. Your milk has expired.
I just can't believe it. Like, we talk about it. I know. I just can't believe it though. What was the reason that somebody didn't vote for him?
What's the reason?
Because you didn't want him on the first time, the first ballot.
No one should be unanimous. Why?
I always agree. Why?
Yeah. Mariano Rivera wasn't unanimous. We all agree. But guess what? Mariano Rivera should have been unanimous. Willie Mays should have been unanimous. Ichiro should have been unanimous. Ricky Henderson should have been unanimous. If you're a sure thing, no doubt, forget the fuck about it, Hall of Famer, you should be unanimous. Ichiro was that. I can think of 10 guys in my lifetime who were that.
Yeah.
So what is your point here?
I never understood that ever. Like you're right. Like, what is the point? What is the message that you as a writer?
And obviously we are finally on the tail end of guys who are or not, the conversation less and less each year is about steroids because the Bonds and the Clemens and the whatever are just kind of been pushed aside. And then the A-Rod, the whatever. And then the guys who are like questionable are like aging out of the thing. But the guys, if that's not the conversation, Ken Griffey Jr. should have been unanimous. Tom Seaver should have been unanimous. Nolan Ryan, every single person on this list, save for Derek Jeter, should have been unanimous. And guess what? Derek Jeter, probably a fucking first ballot Hall of Famer, no doubt about it. But Derek Jeter is one of the guys who I go, I'm fine with you saying everyone is overrated this guy a little bit. Doesn't mean he's not a Hall of Famer, but here, get in with 95% of the vote. You still are a fucking sure thing lock. Like every single other person on this list is a no doubt about it, first ballot, should be unanimous Hall of Famer.
It is crazy to think that Mariano Rivera is the only unanimous Hall of Famer.
Cal Ripken retires as the best shortstop ever, having played in fucking the Iron Man streak. Pre-A-Rod, he's the best shortstop ever.
Yeah, it's nuts.
And
man.
the streak, and an MVP, and a thing. Like, not being unanimous, who's that dickhead? Those 8 dickheads, apparently.
Yeah. Nolan Ryan, 6 dickheads didn't vote for him.
And by the way, Nolan Ryan is one of those guys who was he ever the best pitcher in baseball? Where does this stuff you don't throw 7 big league no-hitters. You don't have all-time strikeout leader. You don't have strikeouts are an important statistic. The guy with the most, he's a fucking sure thing, 100% first ballot Hall of Famer. Kill yourself.
Yeah. I mean, you look at this and you're just like, what is wrong with these guys? It's insane, man. But I think it helps with Ichiro, and when these guys call attention to it, I think it helps. I don't think it's petty at all. I think it's great you would call attention to it during your speech.
Yeah.
Fuck that guy.
And also what's petty is the fucking him not voting for you. So if we're gonna petty, let's have a petty off.
Yeah.
But you'll have to write it in the fucking on page 74 of the fucking Cincinnati Tribune Bugle or whatever the fuck. And I'll say it on national TV when I get inducted in the Hall of Fame. What's your paper there? The Telegraph?
Inquirer.
Inquirer.
With an EN, not Inquirer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this is an Inquirer, which I recently just canceled. I play the games with them. It's dick, and it's I don't care.
It's especially dick because these days they're like, "Hi, Mr. Ruther, we've seen you canceled your subscription. I just want to remind you for the Cincinnati Enquirer, including our Sunday magazine, it's going to cost you a whopping 10 cents a year." And you're like, "Get fucked, dog."
No, that's what I do. I have a theory on this. They get you in the 1 month you forget.
Yeah.
So like you cancel, and then they'll be like $1 for the next 6 months, and you're like, okay, I'm back. And then I set a reminder on my phone to cancel like 2 days before. I'm like, I'm out of this.
What's the like standard rate if you were just like a total clueless clown and we're like, I'll pay full rate for the Enquirer?
That's a good question. I don't know. I know the Wall Street Journal, I just canceled that, and they do the same thing. It's like 20 something a month. But I pay like $4 a month for it. It's like a random number. It's like $4.50 or something. But I just canceled, the Enquirer, and they're like, we'll get you back for the first month for $1. I'm like, give me a better deal. Cancel again. No lie, my last one was $1 for 6 months.
$1 for 6 months.
It was $1 for 6 months for the
12 cents a month.
12 cents a month.
15 cents a month, something like that.
Yeah. I mean, I just, but and by the way, there's also ways, there's a website, I don't know if you noticed, you can put everything behind a paid wall. Yeah, I'll send you the link.
Send me the link, because usually the links you send me are for shit out of the Wall Street Journal I can't read.
Yeah, where you can read everything behind a paid wall.
Hell yeah.
Look, I understand things cost money, but like, sorry, this you're in the dark ages at this point.
Yeah.
Figure out.
I mean, listen, the thing about reading stuff behind the paywall is like you're never going to get me to pay. So, like, who cares? Who cares if I go someplace to read it? At least I'm reading the shit, and maybe I tweet about the thing that I read in your thing, or maybe the whatever, and somebody else is dumb enough to do it. But like, generally, like people will send me New York Times stuff all the time, and I'll be like, okay, I click on it, and they're like, yeah, fair. I go, guess I'm not reading whatever the fuck that is. Bye. That is information I will never have.
But also, like I said, I have no problem paying for the Wall Street Journal. I have no problem paying for The Athletic. Like, these are things that are good, and I think provide.
I have no problem using your password for The Athletic.
Yeah, exactly. Sorry, Cincinnati Enquirer is not making the cut, especially when you've outsourced a lot of the stories anyway that are other Ohio stories from other Ohio papers.
Yeah.
Like.
Listen, when the coverage of the Bengals in the Cincinnati Enquirer is just a copy and paste of Justin in the Jungle's monologue that was posted on Bleacher Report, that seems, what am I paying for? Because he'll do that for me if I call him.
That's funny. By the way, speaking of the Bengals, I can't do Bengals Reddit anymore. I just can't. I'm done.
I can't believe we're even having this conversation.
Well, because I would hate go there, especially again. I have some crazy hours in the middle of the night. I'm just like scrolling through shit. If I'm like, giving a baby bottle at like 2 a.m., 3 a.m., whatever it is. But now I'm just like, the stupidity is just like, it's too much for me. And I've decided I can no longer. Maybe it's because I live here. Doesn't mean I won't go to other teams. Local Reddits, but I'm done. I can't. It's just too stupid. I've decided,
What was the thing that made, what was like the one?
it's just too many billionaire bootlickers.
Yeah.
Too many siding with their owner, and I'm just like, they finally signed that first round pick. He was the last one that they signed, and you know what, it was over. You're gonna laugh at this. Basically, the contract he wanted, the Bengals wanted to do new language that most teams do, as far as in case they get hurt, arrested, whatever it is. Which again, I have no problem with the Bengals wanting to change, but they didn't want to give other things up. So like other teams have changed this language, but they've said, we'll give you a larger signing bonus. We'll give you more up front. And the
Right.
Bengals just in their cheap ways. And you know what ended up being? This is laughable to an NFL team. They end up giving $500,000 of his bonus instead of in December, in July. And I'm just thinking, you guys couldn't have done this. Like $500,000, Joe, that's like $10 for you and I.
Yeah.
$500,000 that they were going to give in part of whatever bonus. They bumped up 5 months.
Yeah.
You guys couldn't have done that.
Sorry, give me 1 second.
Yeah.
My mom's
Dude.
power calling me. I'll be back in 2 seconds.
Yeah, do your thing. So I'm just like, I see those things and I'm like, I can't. I just can't. Like I think there's a lot of bad takes on Reddit for sure. And I think people hide behind them because, there's not showing their face, which I think, you can make the argument on all the social media apps now. I think now more than ever, it's become acceptable to hide behind the faceless profile pic and just spew awful takes. Awful take after awful take after awful take. But here's a good take I want to drop for you guys. Here's a good take, which I'm ready to say on the show. And when Joe hops in here, we'll move to some NFL discussion.
Sorry about that.
That's all good. I'm ready to make.
My mom and my sister are hanging out, and both of them were calling me repeatedly. And I was like, are they on the verge of killing each other? Which is very possible.
All good.
All good.
By the way, I'm ready to make a big take. We're talking like we moved in a little.
Let's go.
I was saying, how I'm done with Reddit because it's bad takes. I was like, here's a take.
I'm done with I'm done with the Reddit hot takes. Now, everybody, welcome back to the Miller Lite Hot Take Corner here on Dirty Sports Podcast. If your hot takes are too hot, cool them down with a nice cold Miller Lite.
Here's the Andy Ruther hot take.
Andy Ruther hot take.
On the back end of the Chargers signing Rashawn Slater to a 4-year deal.
Okay.
They're building that line. They got him, Joe Alt. They were top 3 last year in points per game, defense. Chargers will make a Super Bowl in the next 3 years.
I wish we could go back and.
I know we've said this a lot.
No. First of all, I'm a Herbert guy, but like I wish we could. I just wish we could have ChatGPT bring up Andy in the post playoff loss rant. Like you were like, I'm not sure this is ever going to work with them.
Well, hold on. I was critical of Herbert, and I still am, and he played like dog shit. He's the X factor for me now.
Yeah,
because
but you believe that he has the ability to lead them to the play.
I do, and what I believe is, again, the foundation of year 1 of Harbaugh. We have a top 3 defense.
Yeah,
year 1. Year 2, we're now solidifying our O-line. We're building the defense. I'm not saying they're going to be the top 3 again. I don't know how sustainable that always is. But the point is, you're build in the trenches. Herbert, for sure, might have some yips, some bad shit going on in the playoffs that he's going to have to get over. I think if he gets over that, and I think he will, and you're right, and I was critical. And by the way, he's still not like in my top 5. Like, I'll still take Jaden Daniels over him and other guys over him because of what he's done in the playoffs.
right.
But what I'm saying right now is this is year 2. Again, we all know it's that 5 years when you start to make the Super Bowl with your coach. This is year 2. I'm saying I think the Los Angeles Chargers make a Super Bowl in the next 3 years. I also think this is going to be a huge leap year. And look, this doesn't mean I'm against the Chiefs. I just think it just gets that much more competitive for the Chiefs.
Yeah.
That's my claim. And everybody's saying,
Also, the Chiefs, at some point they don't make an AFC Championship game, right? At some point.
I agree. I mean, at some point the Patriots didn't.
Yeah.
Or a couple of years in a row the Patriots didn't.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. I just think I believe in the coach. I believe in how you build a squad. And again, it's the same way a lot of these teams have built. The Ravens, the Bills, the Bengals have done the exact opposite. Say we're going to stack our skill positions, and I think that's the wrong way to do it. So that's that's my hot take, which some people might say it's not that hot, but I think it is. Like, to say the Chargers are going to make a Super Bowl in 3 years is a pretty bold take, I think.
Yeah.
Now let's get to this weird Christian Wilkins. We got to get to this, and then we'll get to the Cam Newton stuff. This Christian Wilkins thing has gotten really bizarre. So he was released by the Raiders, and they said a lot of it had to do with his rehab and him not doing the rehab, and he had all that guaranteed money and blah, blah, blah. But now we have conflicting reports that he just was doing weird stuff in the locker room, which was on top of that.
And when you say weird stuff in the locker room,
well, I'll play what was said on McAfee, which today is being debunked. Which Mike Florio from Pro Football Talk is saying that's not true.
Okay.
Schefter went on McAfee and claiming a lot of it stemmed from him kissing a teammate on the forehead and uncomfortable stuff.
Okay.
You weren't expecting that.
No.
And then I'll play the other stuff. So let me play a little of this McAfee clip from literally just a couple hours ago.
How injured is he? When's he back? What happens here with Christian Wilkins?
Again, from speaking to people inside the locker room, I think what everybody's dancing around and tiptoeing around is the fact that when you speak to people there inside the locker room, they say that Christian playfully went to kiss a teammate on top of his head, and those same people said that player took offense to it. So that's what everybody's been dancing around and tap dancing around, an incident in the locker room where he allegedly playfully kissed a teammate on top of his head. That teammate felt offended by it. And that's what a lot of this talk and speculation that people have just been floating around out there is about.
Okay, so he kissed a teammate on the forehead in a playful manner. Teammate said, nope, not doing that, and went to H&R and reported this entire thing, basically, is what happened?
I think that's probably a fair and accurate way of saying things, yeah.
Okay. So bizarre. So they're saying he kissed the guy on the forehead, he felt uncomfortable, and he basically went to HR. Other reports I'm seeing,
what are we doing here,
are claiming that he repeatedly kept tickling a teammate's toes. I'm being dead serious. He reportedly kept tickling a teammate's toes and was being asked to stop. So we lost Joe for a second again. I'm seeing all these things, guys. Kissing a teammate on the forehead, tickling a teammate's toes. Again, on top of he wasn't doing the rehab that he should have been doing. And all these things are contributing. I don't know if the team is just using this as an out. They just don't want to pay him. I don't know. I don't know if this is a giant smoke screen for that. It's all very bizarre. A forehead kiss, a toe.
That's insane.
A toe tickle? A tickler? I've seen the memes today, which you didn't really watch the show. Of course I did. I talked about at length the Key and Peele sketch where the like Dominican Jordan Peele plays the Dominican guy who keeps slapping asses, and they have that intervention with the baseball team. Like that's what everybody's like going to.
I've seen that sketch. Yeah,
it's a great sketch.
But released?
I mean, that's what I'm saying. What's his name? Mike Florio. He quote tweeted the McAfee video, and he's saying the kiss isn't true. That is definitely not the story that's been making the rounds. So he's saying Adam Schefter's lying, which I love. You have insider on insider here.
Yeah.
So which is it? Is it a forehead kiss? Is it a toe
I hope
tickles?
Florio comes over the top. I hope Florio's like, that is not true. He actually tried to give somebody a reach around in the shower. And you're like, oh, well, that makes more sense.
And I cut it off, but then they go in the McAfee show and they go into like some of the former players he has on. I forget who else he has on his like round table. Is like, that's weird. Like they're all like, I'm watching them like like the homophobia. You can just like feel it.
Yeah.
You can feel it in the air of like, first of all,
that is the thing about the NFL, though. Like,
yes,
the kiss on the forehead, people are like, it's like that's the kind of shit in the NFL. They're like, nah, get him out of the locker room forever. Like,
yeah. Whereas, like, we all know, like, a kiss in the forehead can go male on male, non-sexual can go many ways.
Yeah,
you're joking around with a buddy. You're, whatever it is. But
Black
yeah,
guys are like, I ain't joke around like that.
But that's what I take.
Yeah.
Somebody like, oh, that's not a joke. You don't kiss me on the forehead.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, you're like, have you seen how other cultures do things?
Yeah.
Or like,
meanwhile in baseball, Kiki Hernandez gives guys fucking jerk, like he like literally grabs their dick as they come in after hitting a home run. He like jingles their fucking jock strap, and I'll be like,
he's like, I don't get down like that. Now go meet me in the shower. I'm gonna whip your ass with a towel. Like what?
Kike is like, there's nothing gay about me 69ing my teammates after they hit a homer. It's just baseball.
Bro, by the way, speaking of Kike, oh my God, I got the funniest text. There was a TikTok video going around with like a funny voiceover, really saying he was banned from baseball for being gay. And it was taking things like videos of him, doing stuff with his teammates and doing a funny voiceover. And, my buddy Drew texted me. He doesn't follow sports. And Drew's gay, right? And he was like, is this true? He's like, is this guy banned from baseball? From the Dodgers? For being gay? He's like, is this news? I was like, dude, this is like a parody TikTok.
Yeah.
This is like, no, he's not banned from baseball. They're just, this is an NBA, what is it, Centel?
Yeah.
I'm like, of course I couldn't explain it to him. He doesn't fall. I'm like, this is like that version of it. Kike was not banned. And they were playing off his name, like Kike.
Yeah.
The Christian Wilkins thing is weird, though.
Weird. The truth will be revealed, right?
Yeah. So there's been this big debate, which we haven't hopped in, that Cam Newton started. And it's turned into a Cam Newton versus Jalen Hurts because Cam did not put Jalen Hurts in his top 10. And now everybody's like debating these two careers now, or basically the first 4 years of Cam Newton as a starter versus the first 4 years of Jalen Hurts as a starter. I'm going to play the video. I think we should hop in this.
Sure.
This is how it all started. This is from Cam Newton's show. Try not to laugh at Cam Newton's outfit. I know it's pretty much impossible.
Yeah.
But this is from Cam Newton's podcast and how it all got started.
Everybody's going to get mad at this. Cam hating on Jalen Hurts. It's hard for me to grade Jalen Hurts with the talent that he has around him. Jalen Hurts is a great quarterback. But if we're talking about what they bring to the table holistically, it's hard to judge what Jalen Hurts can do when you're throwing to a guy like A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith. When you have tight end skill set, you have a dominant defense, the best running back in the game. Download Madden and see how many stars is on the offensive side of Philly. Like you got King Henry, Zay Flowers, Mark Andrews, Isaiah Likely, those guys, that's cool. But when you're comparing, Lamar Jackson still shows you why he's an elite player. Josh Allen has to play elite in order for them to play. Lamar Jackson has to play at a high level for the Baltimore Ravens, even though that they have a dominant defense. Patrick Mahomes, he got a lot of talent, But boy, oh boy, you can't put no John Doe in Patrick Mahomes and think that they still gonna win the way they win it. I understand that. Jalen Hurts does not have to play elite for the Philadelphia Eagles to win. He has to play good, but he doesn't have to play elite. We're not asking you to win the game. We're just asking you not to lose it. When you ask that question, are we winning because of you, solely because of you, or is it the resources around you? So game changer, game manager, those are the things that you have to ask yourself. And those are the metrics that I'm going off of. It's like, bro, even when the tush push, you got 5 people pushing you, bro. You got a solid group around you, dog. And the man who Jalen Hurts is, bro, I respect him. I take my hat off to him. But just because he's a great guy, that don't mean I can't critique his game.
Okay, so then so this is like turned into a huge thing where like now like ESPN talking heads, it's like this whole ecosphere.
Well, let's go one thing before we even get into that. I don't necessarily disagree with anything Cam Newton said.
Well, that's what. Yeah, I agree.
And then, I haven't sat down and thought about if Jalen Hurts is top 10 in the league. He probably is, but he's probably closer to 10 than he is to 5 on my list. I mean, we banged out 5-7 the other day. I don't think anything Cam Newton said there is wrong. Now, and I'll repeat this. I think if your initial reaction when he didn't say, and that was cut up, right?
Correct.
So I don't know what he said in the full version, but unless Cam Newton compared him to himself, he obviously compared him to Lamar Jackson and he compared him to Josh Allen. But unless he made a comparison to himself, I actually think if your reaction is to compare him to Cam Newton, that you're showing your cards that you actually don't think he's that good, and because you're not comparing him to Lamar Jackson or Josh Allen, you're going at the messenger about his own career instead of the messenger about his analyzation of what he's seeing. I completely essentially agree with everything Cam Newton says. I've probably got Jalen Hurts right around 10, and Jalen Hurts was also probably a better quarterback than Cam Newton because Cam Newton needed to be able to run and had no accuracy whatsoever. And also Cam Newton had Steve Smith and had Greg Olsen and had Christian McCaffrey toward the end of his career. And it's not like you didn't have weapons and you had a great fucking defense, especially the years when you actually won football games.
Did he have Christian McCaffrey?
Didn't he?
I don't remember. But by the way, I agree with what you're saying too. Like when they did that list from coaches, remember the anonymous list, and we basically agreed, coaches, execs, scouts, they did Jalen Hurts at 9. And I was like, this is pretty accurate.
Yeah.
And by the way, I think Jalen Hurts is nice, but I don't disagree with what Cam's basically saying. He's got a lot of pieces. You have a top 3 defense. You have all these pieces on offense. But see, everybody's pulling this up. They're all pulling up. This is basically their first 4 years as a starter. I don't know if you can see it. And it's like,
well, let's just start with this. First three statistics. Get him the fuck out of there. Cam Newton was the first overall pick. Jalen Hurts was drafted in the second round to a team that was fucking already winning football games.
True.
So your QB record means nothing literally means nothing to me.
Yeah. So this holds up to kind of what we're saying.
Completion percentage is the entire reason that I have Jalen Hurts over Cam Newton, because you can't complete 60% of your passes in the modern day NFL. We're not talking about going back 25 years now. We're talking about he's playing his prime 10 years ago, and you can't complete 60% of your passes. You're throwing for more passing yards than Jalen Hurts did in the same amount of games, even though you were primarily a running threat quarterback. You're averaging basically the same yards per attempt. You're averaging more passing yards per game because, again, the Eagles run the fuck out of the ball.
And passing TD, they're very similar. Now in turnovers, Jalen Hurts has way less turnovers.
Yeah.
If you combine fumbles and interceptions, when you look at that, it's like, at the end of the day, obviously Cam's got that MVP, which is huge. And look, here's my thing on Jalen Hurts. I think Jalen Jalen Hurts is a fine quarterback, and I think he's great, and I think he fits well, and I think sometimes he's undervalued, but he's one of those guys.
He played in 2 major college football systems. You brought him to a team that's complete, and you're literally like, don't fuck it up.
Yeah, he's one of those guys where you don't really know until he's on the Browns, right? You don't know until he's on the Tennessee Titans. Like, it's one of those things. Like,
you don't know until he's on the Denver Broncos, or the Steelers, or the New York Giants,
or that. But that's the thing. I agree. I would rather have now, even though Cam's got that MVP, solely because of accuracy, I would definitely rather have Jalen Hurts.
Accuracy and turnovers. When your team is complete, just don't turn the ball over.
Yeah.
Be accurate. Take the easy ones.
Sure.
Let your defense play fucking defense. Cam Newton famously has the fucking fumble in the Super Bowl. Like, yeah, like I'll take Jalen Hurts over Cam Newton. Now, again, there's a like Cam Newton is, in my opinion, far more dynamic than Jalen Hurts. So that's fun if you're the first overall pick and you want to sell tickets to a team that goes 7-9, because it's still a business.
Yeah.
And you still got to get people to come out, even if you're not going to win the Super Bowl. But if you tell me 2 stacked lineups, who do you want, Jalen Hurts or Cam Newton? I'm going to take Jalen Hurts. But that was not part of the conversation. That wasn't part of the hot take, old head, fucking, back in my day, Jalen Hurts couldn't even be on the floor. Kobe would have carved him up. He would have sliced him and diced him. He has no chance. This wasn't Cam Newton saying that. Cam Newton was just saying, I don't know what Jalen Hurts is because he's surrounded by great talent, and I don't have him as an elite quarterback when you compare him to these other elite quarterbacks. And I think Cam Newton's 100% correct. And the fact that the conversation is becoming personal, the people who are doing that, the people who are looking at Cam Newton's statistics are showing their cards that they don't believe Jalen Hurts that. He mentioned Josh Allen. All right. He mentioned Lamar Jackson. If you're going to throw some shit up on Twitter that's a NFL player comparison, why isn't that what you're doing? Those are the guys he said he's not stacking up against. There's a lot of fucking QB and analysts out there, including you and I, who've never stepped foot in the NFL. But you look like a guy like Dan Orlovsky waves in on quarterbacks all the time. And they're like, oh, you think fucking, I don't know, who's the worst quarterback we can think of? You think Zach Wilson sucks? Well, here's Zach Wilson's stats after 18 games, and here's Dan Orlovsky's stats. And it's like, okay, what does that prove?
Yeah. And like I said, this has turned into a weird thing where then, like, I think Orlovsky, from what I kind of saw from afar, and also, what's his name? He just doesn't shut up. Ryan Clark. Then they go at Cam Newton, and then it turns into a personal thing, and now Cam Newton's going at them, taking digs at them on his podcast, saying, like, what were your careers personally? It's just, here's my thing. I agree. Prime Cam was nice. Had a huge upside athletically. Jalen Hurts is nice. He's been in 2 Super Bowls. He's won 1. He's a Super Bowl MVP. That doesn't take anything away from Jalen Hurts, for the record, in my opinion. It doesn't take anything away from Jalen Hurts saying I'd rather have Josh Allen or Lamar Jackson even. It doesn't take anything away from Hurts. And I'm not calling him a system quarterback either, but he does fit well in that system. Can't deny it. They win games.
Yeah, that's the name of the game. Win football games, win the Super Bowl.
Also, his one big turnover in that Super Bowl is the difference in that first Eagles-Chiefs Super Bowl.
Correct.
And he played a great game outside that, but you gave up 6 points.
Yeah, lost the Super Bowl.
Which, ironically, is very Cam-esque.
Right.
Everybody gets hung up in these conversations, but again, if I'm an Eagles fan, I would just be happy. Like, yeah, he fits the mold.
We just talked about the Chargers and your hot take, the Andy Ruther hot take of the week. Justin Herbert has all of the gifts, right?
Yes.
Has a coach now, has a defense. They're building the offensive line. No one thinks that Justin Herbert doesn't have enough arm strength or enough accuracy or enough mobility or enough whatever to be a Super Bowl winning quarterback. Now it's in those big games, you can turn the fucking ball over.
Yeah. Now it's more mental. It is. I agree. And that for that very reason, that's why like Herbert is below some of those guys. Like,
and also, listen, Herbert could be the most talented guy in the world. I like Herbert. I think he's super talented. I think whatever. But you also get to a point when you have a Harbaugh where you go, huh, man, how many more playoff games like that do you have before you bring in a guy to back up Herbert that is a vet, that doesn't turn the ball over, that has won games, and you go, what if we fucking try him?
yeah. Yeah, I agree. Obviously, this conversation, like these QB combos, won't go anywhere. But when you have, and that's kind of also been a similar knock on Lamar, when you have a defense and a running game, you got to like, that's the prime difference between these two. Jalen Hurts has been at 2 Super Bowls. He won 1. He's an MVP of 1.
Yeah.
Lamar hasn't.
Yeah.
Now, Lamar's got the stats. Lamar's got crazy better stats. He's also, like, again, Cam's not lying. He's also had some stacked skill positions. Way better than Lamar.
But we're also Lamar truthers.
Exactly. It's right around the corner, Prano. It's right around the corner. I'm gonna pull this thing up real quick. Did I save this? This is gonna be an easy one for us. We're all gonna agree it's scenario C. But I want to go after that. I saw this on FanDuel. They posted this on their social media. Okay. The year is 2030. Which of these is most likely to be true? A, Patrick Mahomes has won 6+ Super Bowls. B, Caleb Williams has 3+ MVPs. C, Aaron Rodgers is a podcast host. I think everybody agrees it's going to be C. Or D, Josh Allen is on the Dallas Cowboys. So we both agree Aaron Rodgers is a podcast host 2030.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
What is the second most likely scenario, though?
Probably Mahomes.
Again, yeah, your options would be Mahomes has won 6+ Super Bowls.
Well, we're going into the 2025 season.
So we have
Caleb Williams wins 3 MVPs in his first 6 years.
Yeah. So you'd have to win 3 in the next 6 years.
Or Patrick Mahomes wins 3 Super Bowls in the next 6 years.
Yeah.
So I'm going A over B.
Okay.
Josh Allen's never going to be a Dallas Cowboy. He's fucking. Why would that happen? How would that happen? I'm going C, A, D, because I guess who knows, and then B. I think Caleb Williams has potential of fucking being great, but 3 in the next 6 seasons he's the MVP is wild.
He's never winning an MVP.
All right,
it's just so hard.
It's a bold take, but yeah,
it is a bold take. But you still look who you still have in the league.
You're right. It's not that bold to take.
You still have,
it's certainly it's an infinitely less bold take than he's not winning 3 in the next 6 seasons.
Yeah, I mean, you got you still have Mahomes, you still have Lamar Jackson, you still have Joe Burrow, you still have Josh Allen. Like, you got lurkers like a Jordan Love, CJ Stroud, Jaden McDaniels. I know he only played 1 year, but you know how hard it is to win an MVP, guys?
Now, it didn't say NFL MVPs. Like, maybe he could be MVP of the Xenon League, which we're going to find out about when we listen to Aaron Rodgers' new podcast, be the lizard people that actually control all of us and have run football on the moon for years, that Aaron once saw when he was hanging out outside his house in New Jersey.
Maybe somebody directed you to say that because we're in a simulation.
Yeah.
You ever think about that stuff though?
Simulation?
Yeah.
No.
No.
I mean, the simulation thing is the one that I've never really. All right, so if I stand up and jack off on camera on the Dirty Sports Podcast, would ruin my whole goddamn life right now and fucking lose ours. But like, what's the simulation? What are we simulating?
I don't know.
I don't
Good
know.
point.
Free will seems pretty free.
My mind always goes to the question of, is there something doing exactly what I'm doing in this exact moment in a different universe?
Probably not.
Like, is there an Andy Ruther right now doing
Andy,
this?
there's,
with his hand?
you know, when you just talk about like the mathematical probabilities, do you know that they say no, it's impossible. It's basically mathematically impossible for a deck to have been shuffled the same way twice ever.
I did not know that.
There's so many variations of a 52 card pack of playing cards. It's more statistically improbable than almost anything that if you properly shuffled cards that they would be in the same order twice ever. So add to that, now there's a world where the exact same thing is happening. Andy Ruth has the exact same fucking in that world. There's also a dirtball who does Photoshop that made a LeBron James fucking collage, and it's behind you. And there's also a Cincinnati in that world where it's just no.
I don't know though, man.
I say no. I honestly think what's way more more likely than the simulation, because it just said free will seems pretty real, is that there's like an on earth real life power that's sort of driving us all. I mean, I think we all know that we're being driven to do certain things all the time through fucking, obvious propaganda, not so obvious propaganda, subtle brainwashing, not so subtle brainwashing. For God's sakes, the whole world's fucking 60% of the fucking basketball fans online think Kobe Bryant's the top 3 player of all time, despite the fact there's no information that supports that whatsoever.
Well, it's funny you say that. It's like, did you even know that the segue was, I'm bringing up some like deep, weird stuff. That's a segue for this call we got about Kobe, which is
Right.
like, he's definitely stoned. He admits it. This is probably one of the most bizarre Kobe takes I've ever heard. Definitely high. You're gonna not see this one coming at all. Hotline. Let's pull it up. 859-832-0478. Give us a shot. Leave weird calls like this.
Yo, boys, it's your Brock Purdy lover boy. I ate an edible earlier, so I'm pretty high right now, but I was trying to figure out why everyone thinks Kobe is in the GOAT conversation, and Jordan, yeah, maybe for some people there's a case there, but I truly was trying to figure out the Kobe thing, and I think it's so weird, and I swear to God, I think I finally figured it out. I think it's because people who think that are a little bit gay. Hear me out.
What?
Kobe and Jordan are just way more they have way more swagger. They're just cooler. They're better looking than LeBron, in my opinion. I think they just have that tough guy, manly man swagger. LeBron's a beast, don't get me wrong, but I think there's a little bit of a gayness going on. And I think people, killer instinct, might as well just be saying, dude's kind of cute. I kind of got a crush on him. He's got some swag. So anyone who says that, I swear to God, I think they're just closeted, a little bit gay. So I don't know. I might be really off right here, and I'm pretty stoned. So I don't know. But let me know if you think there's anything to that, guys. All right, stay dirty.
I agree with everything he said. I will not elaborate.
Oh, that's your take?
What do I need to say that he didn't just say?
You use a little
I think he really might be onto something there.
Oh, I'm shocked. I thought you would just laugh.
No. I think the guys who like slurp Jordan and slurp Kobe, I think they think they're kind of cute. I think that adds to it.
Look, if we're gonna do purely looks, I mean, I know that sounds crazy. I do think that Jordan and Kobe are better looking dudes than LeBron.
Well, because LeBron's a freak animal.
Yeah, like I don't think that's up for debate. Like they're
listen, if I was judging human being attractiveness, Kobe Bryant is also more attractive than a grizzly bear because a grizzly bear is a fucking grizzly bear. LeBron James is 6'9", 275 pounds. You like if Kobe Bryant wasn't Kobe Bryant or Michael Jordan wasn't Michael Jordan, and they walked in to an Applebee's with their date, somebody might go, good looking guy, good looking girl, 6'6", kind of tall. If LeBron James wasn't LeBron James and walked into an Applebee's with a girl, they'd be like, yo, they'd be like in the kitchen, you see the dude at table 12? The fucking guy is crazy, dude. He's like 6'9", 275. I think the guy who dropped him off was a silverback gorilla. I think he might be related to Harambe. Like, he is a fucking freak.
He's a physical specimen.
He's insane. He is closer to like he's closer to like an animal than the average. Like, we have evolved to be weak and like need taking care of. LeBron James looks like he would be the provider for an entire tribe.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. LeBron is just like a beast. There's no other way to put it.
He's a fucking freak beast.
The way his chemical build is, the way not just his makeup physically. It's like he's like so like he's like fat. You know, he's not a slow big movie. Like he's graceful. He's got all that on top of being like, this dude will run me over. Like, he's got all the intangibles. And it is true. Like, if Kobe or Jordan walked in, especially Kobe, I agree with you. If Kobe walked into a restaurant, you'd be like, oh, it's just like a good-looking black dude with his date.
Yeah.
Tall, good-looking.
Brandy? That's weird.
Which begs the question then. Who's the best looking NBA player of all time? Not the comments have not chirped. Rick Fox would be the best player ever.
Yeah.
Rick Fox, good looking dude.
Yeah. Listen, I'd argue this. Great call, Gene Marty Hunt. If Kobe Bryant hadn't been on those Lakers teams and the Lakers were like, we can win a championship, we just need to get Rick Fox going a little bit more. Like, you know, Rick Fox can be like sort of the outside complement to Shaquille O'Neal. I think Rick Fox would be a goddamn movie star today. And people would be like, oh man, is he all the same guys who are just like attracted to NBA players for some reason would probably have Rick Fox in the GOAT conversation.
Well, I mean, Rick Fox, he did dabble in some acting.
Yeah. And by dabbled in some acting, you mean dabbled in Vanessa Williams.
He did dabble inside her too.
Yeah.
Speaking of Lakers looking good, cover of Men's Health, it came out today. His face is cut off. Look at Luka.
By the way, I love the Luka PR summer. He's like, I'm gonna get fit, and then you got to get me on the cover of Men's Health. For the Mavs, Jesus Christ.
I saw a great tweet.
Meanwhile, Anthony Davis is on the cover of this week's Dallas Barbecue Weekly.
I saw a great tweet about the Luka thing. It was like Luka's on that like revenge. You broke up with an ex, you get cut up.
Yeah.
You know, he's on that tour.
He's on that Khloe Kardashian revenge bod program.
You knew it was going to happen.
Oh, yeah. Everybody said it was going to happen. Bro, everybody in LA, doesn't everybody in LA go through the same thing? Like, man, everybody gets up here early and goes fucking hiking and surfing and shit.
Yeah. I know. It really is easy when everybody's doing it. And when the
Luka
weather's
Doncic's Little Beach Workout.
and when the
Is that
weather's nice.
is that in the Men's Health magazine?
It should be.
I agree.
I should get a royalty too. Real easy when the weather's nice too.
Yeah.
That's why all these athletes go train in SoCal. Not too hot, not humid. You won't be training in fucking Cincinnati, Ohio. Kill yourself. Bro, I trimmed the bushes last week.
Jeez. Are we going into a Manscaped ad?
No. But I'm talking like it's like 90 and humid now. You know, like the 90
and humid down there.
Bro. You would have thought I just got out of a pool. I went inside my house. My shorts, my shirt. I'm talking all just. I trimmed. I was outside for like an hour, trimming some bushes, taking them to the back, dumping. I was just like, what the fuck?
I'll take you next level on the. You talk about Southern California. How about this? Summer here right now. Lake Tahoe summer weather. We're going like low 70s during the day, high 50s at night, but the low 70s with the mountain breeze and you're 5,000 feet closer to the sun. You're having 73 feels like 80 breezy. That's hard to beat. That's a unicorn weather.
It's good weather vibes.
73 feels warmer, but isn't. Also lake breezy.
Maybe you'll never go back.
Maybe.
You gotta get better Wi-Fi though.
I know. Well, you know what the problem is. It's all just been this phone. I shut my phone off. My phone just refused to stop connecting as my microphone. I literally turned my phone off. Like, we're not doing that again.
Yeah. Well, seems like I was wrong, guys. Seems like Prano is into the Kobe hot take. So,
I love it. Actually, I'm gonna start saying it. I'm gonna clip that and put it on our TikTok. Really, just set the internet ablaze.
You guys are just attracted to Kobe. A little gay for him.
You're a little gay for Kobe, and
that's okay. For Kobe. That's fine.
That's okay.
Nothing wrong with that.
Listen, if you had asked my sister when she was 12 years old who the greatest actor of all time was, she'd have said Jonathan Taylor Thomas. And guess what? That's you guys. You guys want to sit in your bedroom and you want to make out with Kobe Bryant. That's why you have him fucking the GOAT conversation. Jonathan Taylor Thomas, I don't even think he has an Emmy, let alone an Oscar or a single, major motion picture role. Like no one thought he was a great actor except 12-year-old girls who wanted to get finger blasted by him. That's you guys. You got Kobe in your top 5. You want to get finger blasted by Kobe Bryant. I get it. You got a little fucking crush. You think you should be on the cover of Tiger Beat every week. You gay for Kobe. It's fine. Just admit it. My sister's an adult now. Do you think she thinks JC Chazé is the greatest singer of all time? No, she grew up.
By the way, it's amazing that he just didn't come back, Jonathan Taylor Thomas. Like, that should be studied. That's very rare. I'm looking at his Wikipedia now.
I'm going to go ahead and extend this take out to you. If you think Jonathan Taylor is the best running back in the NFL, it's probably because you're also gay for Jonathan Taylor Thomas and you just can't give it up.
Isn't it crazy though? He just was like, I'm good. I'm cool.
My top 3 NFL players of all time: Jonathan Taylor, Thurman Thomas, Lawrence Taylor, and Derek Thomas. Those are and you're like, all right, we get it, dude. You wanted to make out with Jonathan Taylor Thomas when you were a kid, and you have Kobe Bryant as your GOAT.
I think he needs to start a podcast. Putting it out there. JTT, if you're listening, we need you back.
We need you back.
We need you back. You were a thing. Hotline 859-832-0478. Give a shout. I don't know if the Kobe troll is back, by the way. He's got to be a troll. in the YouTube comments.
I don't know.
This has to be a troll. Kobe is a good role model, the guy accused of rape, and was inspiring with work ethic, killer mentality, skill.
Sean, how often do you think about sitting in your childhood bedroom and getting finger blasted by Kobe Bryant? Just reply with this gif. When Kobe Bryant takes his cock out, do you not blink like when Matt Barnes tried to throw the ball at him? Is that what we have going on here? Kobe is a good role model. Kobe, hated by teammates and coaches, blatantly accused of rape. Not a good role model for relationships with men or women. But I guess if you want to be a psychopath who sits home alone, he's a great role model.
Hated.
Inspiring with the work ethic. Guess what other professional athletes are inspiring with their work ethic? Like 98% of them.
I'll tell you what, Jeff Pearlman's 3-Ring Circus will open anybody's world on Kobe. That book,
you gotta be able to read, though.
True. That book will those stories, not only did Kobe's teammates hate him, the fact that he wouldn't partake in like team dinners. You read that stuff and that's what you said. You go, you're a serial killer. They'd show up to restaurants and he'd be sitting by himself and didn't want to join his teammates. Who doesn't want to sit down with Shaq? Who don't want to enjoy a nice meal with Shaq? Rick Fox, Derek Fisher. Come on. That's like serial killer mentality.
Yeah. Serial killer instinct.
Who knows with these people? You never know. Troll or moron.
We know troll or moron or gay.
we have a third category?
Yeah.
Troll, moron, or gay. Right,
not that there's anything wrong with that. Just be open about it.
Yeah. It's fine.
That the dude that just got cut from the Raiders, he's also their favorite football player.
Christian Wilkins.
Yeah. Like, I'd love to be kissed on the head by Christian Wilkins. All right, guys, we get it. You love Kobe Bryant.
That's by the way one of the weirdest stories I've seen. The toe tickling.
The toe tickler.
You ticklish?
Yes.
Good to know. All right, guys, let's wrap it up here.
Well, guys, I don't know if I'm headed back today or if I'm headed back tomorrow, but I know I'm headed back at the latest tomorrow because I got a show Wednesday at Candy's Boom Boom Room in San Diego after I go to Mets Padres. I got a show Thursday at Minimal Golf Club in Redondo Beach. I got a show Friday and Saturday up at the Don't Tell Comedies in Central Coast. So go to joeprano.com for shows. Thank you very much to everybody, with not just the people that Venmo'd me a wedding gifts, which was incredibly unexpected, but just all the people, all the dirtballs out there who have messaged me and said something nice this weekend. We really did have the best weekend, and it was really cool to hear you guys be like, happy for you and all that stuff. Like, it's cool that my fans of this show have always been super supportive, financially, emotionally, all the things. So I really appreciate all of your messages. And see you guys on Friday.
All right. Well, once again, guys, congrats. Prano is married. I guess I'm up next.
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah. So we'll see.
Andy, I don't care which Applebee's in the greater Cincinnati area you have your reception in or how many kids I have. I'll be there, pal.
Appreciate that. Probably won't be, I don't think, when you have 2 kids, you just say, let's go to the court one day.
Yeah, do that.
I think it's
well, if you decide to celebrate an Applebee's after the courthouse, you let me know.
You got any Applebee's out in California?
I'm sure there's some somewhere.
Destination wedding?
I'll Venmo you $20 so you can get yourself 2 apps.
I think it's 3, by the way.
3 for $20. Man, in this day and age,
I think Chili's has got a 3 for $10 deal.
Chili's, baby, the people who love love Chili's are also like, I don't know. It's just something about that NSYNC commercial with them on the beach. Makes me think these Chili's ribs might be the GOAT of all time, the best barbecue there ever was.
That's your boy McAfee. Remember, he was raving about the ribs when he came on our show.
Yeah, that tracks.
I don't remember if that was Applebee's or Chili's. Can't remember.
Chili's.
All right, I got to get out of here, guys. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Have a great week. We'll see you on Friday. And as always,